everyone. Thank you very much. I'm very excited today to talk to you about how and when to start your customer success program. I am often asked, what is the primary function of a customer success organization? The primary objective of a customer success organization is adoption and optimization of your product. If you have your CS team doing hands-on keyboard work, that is not going to lead to renewals and expansion. So why do you start early? I think we can all agree that it's much cheaper to keep and retain your existing customer base than it is to continually fill the leaky sieve of churn with new customers. Also, your renewal process does not start 30 days before the contract ends. It doesn't start 90 days before the contract ends. It starts on day one of implementation. And if you don't have somebody there listening to those signals, you're going to have a pretty hard time come renewal asking your customer to renew when they've had a bad implementation, they haven't adopted the product. That renewal prospect is going to be pretty painful. So I think we're kind of at a tipping point when it comes to customer success right now. I think, we're at a tipping point when it comes to customer success. I think everybody understands the importance of customer success. The debate right now is who owns that expansion number. And I can tell you right now, you're going to go through multiple iterations. You're going to go back and forth on this topic. But really, at the end of the day, the CSM should own expansion, right? It's really better. It's better for your CSM. They know your customer base, they understand your customer base, and at the end of the day, it's better for your customer. It's better for your customer so they don't have to continually be handed off to different members of the post-sale organization, whether it be back to going to the AE or introducing a whole new face from an account management perspective. So when do you start customer success? Really, the answer to this is once you have a repeatable methodology around customer acquisition, it's time to start thinking about building your customer success program. And to me, the biggest part of building your customer success program is mapping out your customer journey. That is the biggest thing that companies get hung up on. They think that customer journey map is a 40-page document. And at this stage in the game, really, it's a leadership conversation. It's a whiteboarding conversation with your leadership team around the different touch points that you have in the customer journey, mapping that out, figuring out what the ideal customer experience is, and then going ahead and moving forward with that and convincing your VP of sales that the CSMs own that expansion. Don't get hung up on your customer journey map. Just do it. Okay, so this number is a bit controversial. So how much can a CSM really maintain, right? What is the ARR, the book of business that they can really maintain? The gold standard is $1 million in ARR. And in reality, when you're starting out your CS program, it's closer to 500,000. But if you have a monthly subscription program versus an annual subscription program, or if you have a consumption model, you are going to have a CSM managing a much larger book of business. And I can tell you right now, invest in automating that process, invest in the technology to automate that process, because it will be a much better experience for your CSM, and it will be a much better experience for your customer. Okay, who do they report to? I'm not going to get into this battle. This is a bit of a holy war within customer success. What I will tell you is that you need to have somebody who is managing this team who has done renewals before. Renewals are a bit of a tricky business. They're a bit more nuanced than new business sales. Who do I hire? That's also a tricky question. It really depends on your product. But at the end of the day, you have to optimize for the fact that these are people that are going to be negotiating contracts, and they should have some commercial term experience. Okay, there are 3 key metrics in a customer success program. You can measure whatever you want, but at the end of the day, there are 3 metrics that matter: gross retention, net retention, and logo retention. I get asked all the time about NPS. NPS is a company metric. It is not a customer success metric. And one last word about NRR. It is the phrase, net retention is the phrase of the day when it comes to customer success, but your board and your investors want to know that you can still retain customers. Make sure you are paying attention to gross retention. Okay, scaling your customer success team. Once you're at about 4 to 5 CSMs, it's time to hire a manager. And your natural inclination is going to be that you're going to want to promote from within. I will caution you that the better play there is really to hire somebody from outside the organization that comes to you with best practices around CS. They will be able to up-level your CS program. When do you split out those functions? When do you change onboarding from the role of and responsibility of the CS team? You got to do it earlier than you think you do. If you're going to hire your CSM team with a bunch of technical experts who are expected to onboard and to train and to retain and to go ahead and negotiate a contract, a multi-year contract with tiered pricing and step-down discounts, that is not scalable. And finally, if I leave you with nothing else from this presentation, please understand that customer success is not support. Support is a transactional function. Support is about answering questions related to how your product works, or if there's a problem with your product in the moment. Customer success is a relational function, right? It's about developing relationships to be able to get your customers to use your product as optimally as possible. So I hope that I've given you some level of information that will convince you today that your customer success organization is a revenue generating organization. It is not a customer happiness team, and I am happy to answer any questions that you might have at the end of the presentation. Thank you very much.